And yes, welcome everyone on this rainy, windy Friday afternoon here broadcasting from Scotland, Falkirk in Scotland, at the centre of Scotland. And today I'm inviting you all to this webinar, which is called Healing the Witch Wound. So as you're joining, and my name's Eimear, by the way, as many of you already know, and as people are joining, it would be lovely to know where you are in the world and who you are. So if you like, you can pop your name and your location in the chat, making sure that it's for panelists and all attendees so we can all see who's here. And as you're doing that, for those of you that follow my blog, hi Barbara from Copenhagen, you will know a bit of where this has come from, this webinar today. And I'll tell you about that just now. Let's welcome some of you in. Hello. Oh, hi Sonia. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I've had my hair done finally after my lockdown hair. Hi Paloma from Vienna in Austria. Hi Anna from Sweden. Hi Barbara. That's okay. You said hello twice. Hi Jenny from Portland, Oregon. You're up early. Hello Maria from Bristol in the UK. Sarah from Altrincham, south of Manchester. Hello. Annika, hi, from Winchester in southern England. And Barbara from Copenhagen. Heather, hi Suzanne from Germany. And Heather, it'd be lovely to know where you are from. Is it Heather from Scotland? If so, hello. And we've got Karen. Is that Karen from Northwest UK? That's very specific. And Fred from Watsonville in California. Fantastic. So we are spanning the West and the East, which always excites me to see these. Heather, your witchy roommate. Hi, Heather. Yes, we shared a room on retreat. So gorgeous. Witches, we stick together. Woohoo. Gorgeous. Well, thank you all, and keep the names and locations coming in the chat so we can all connect in that way. And Barbara, morning from Calgary in Canada. Gorgeous. Yeah, so today we're going to be exploring what is this about the witch wound and what drew you all here today. We've got 20 and rising people here so far. So what is it that drew you here today to this webinar, to be here? It's been really lovely to have so much interest and to receive so many messages as well. So that's a question that you can have a think about, and if you like, you can write in the chat, what is it that brings you here today, taking time out on your Friday, which I fully appreciate. Hello, Shamanic Life. Greetings from Wales, gorgeous, and Maura from Pennsylvania. Hi. And I'll share with you, so the format for today. I do get distracted by all the people coming in, which is really nice. So as I already said, I was on holidays in Edinburgh last week and went to Edinburgh Dungeons. We did a family tour there. And greetings, Gillian from Edinburgh. Oh, Paloma, curiosity and my lovely energy, witchy energy drew you here. That's gorgeous. And yeah, while we were there, we did the tour, and I was, as I usually do, got involved in the role play that they do, and I was put on trial as a witch in this role play. And while I was doing that, and we were all having a laugh, really, it was very good fun, I started to find myself kept turning to my kids and my husband and going, this happened, this really happened, all of this. And it was like this flicker of, it was very gentle at first, this very gentle flicker of remembering, of knowing that, yes, this has indeed happened. perhaps for me, most likely over many lifetimes, and perhaps for many of you here today, that draws you here to explore this, which I fully appreciate. And I went back up to the Edinburgh Castle Esplanade later on that afternoon. And right now it is usually absolutely mobbed with tourists and people from around the world. But of course, because of COVID-19 and coming out of lockdown, it's been so quiet, and the quietest I've ever seen the Castle Esplanade. And I took some time, I'd read about this Witch's Well plaque that is on the Castle Esplanade that I'd never noticed or seen before. So I looked that out and spent time there just reading the plaque and just wondering about who were all these 300 plus witches, most likely mainly women, men as well, that were burnt like publicly on this huge esplanade. That when you're standing there, you're looking downhill down the Royal Mile with all the really old tenement buildings. And I just had this moment of curiosity and knowing and wondering, who were they? Who were their names? How can we honor these people who were the healers and intuitives of the past over hundreds of years, were killed for their beliefs, their knowing, their wisdom, for their voice of who they were at that time. And as I was walking back to our apartment, just these words that became the poem that I will share with you shortly started going through my head and in the rhythm of my steps as I was walking back. And that was, witches, rise up and step into your power. Witches, rise up. Now is the hour, which is what my grandfather used to say. Witches, rise up and return to your throne. Witches, rise up. It's time to come home. And that kept going round and round in my head to my steps as I was walking back. And I realized I've got to do something with this and share this. And I did. I wrote a poem and I shared this with my group. Some of you are here, which is lovely. The group that are on the 12-week journey of returning to our sacred sovereign truth around the Celtic medicine wheel with the Irish goddesses, reawakening them and their archetypes. So all of this blends together to what I'm going to offer today. Will be poetry. It will be a meditation to meet the top witch, the ancient Cailleach, who is the Irish witch of Ireland and the Celtic lands, Scotland as well. And on this meditation, this will be a unique journey for you to meet with her and to share with her aspects of where you wish to heal, where you feel this wounding, and for her to share her wisdom and knowledge with you to help to set you on your way in your journey of healing, because this is a journey, as you will know. And then I'll share with you the coaching program, spaces that I'm opening up, where you really know that you want to dive in and commit to the deeper journey of healing and fully stepping into your sacred sovereignty, your full, whole power to bring all these aspects of yourself home as you step onto your throne, whatever that means for you. And we'll have time for questions, Q&A. You can come onto screen if you wish to be visible, or in the chat as well. So stick around if that all sounds good. And let's see all these lovely comments flying by. So let's read out what I asked was, what brings you here to this Healing the Witch Wound webinar? And did I say hi to Gillian as well? Gillian Bell from Edinburgh. So lovely to have you here, Gillian, from the city itself. Oh, lovely. So, Fred, what brings you here is witchcraft and the gay counterculture. How interesting. Be lovely if you can say more about that. A book from the 1970s that was crucial to me discovering androgyny and coming out. That's gorgeous. I'm going to check out that book as well. Realizing I carry a witch wound, fear of being seen speaking my truth. I had a vision of a past life burnt as a witch. Yes, thank you. And I think many will relate. I relate to this. Many will relate to this fear, that goes beyond our understanding of being visible, sharing our voice, being seen, stepping up and out, outside of our comfort zone. What will they say? What will happen? This fear of death, dying, it's ancient. So thank you for sharing that. I was curious about healing the witch wound. I definitely have felt some kind of memory of being killed as a witch. Yes. Your Instagram post inspired me. Thanks, Barbara. Also, I had a hypnotic regression where I was in a dungeon and other women, and I have the feeling that I have the witch wound as well. Beautiful. How powerful. Yes, beautiful. I love that poem. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, and thank you for being here, B. I'm feeling very emotional hearing the poem. Thank you, Sonia. Yeah. I think the witches are speaking through me, through all of us. I've always had a fear of authority, of standing out. I think it comes from past life experience. I want to be more in my power, and I think this has been holding me back. Yes, absolutely. A newborn wish to learn and remember what was burnt to ashes. Oh yes, thank you, Anna. Yeah. I both uncovered my lineage and was able to heal the wound in a series of plant medicine ceremonies. How gorgeous. Thank you for this important work and recognition of the inner wise one in all of us rising strong. Yes, she is in so many different forms. Yeah. And also with that it doesn't have to be scary. It can feel that when we get to meet the Cailleach, what I hope to impart is that this can be fun and not so scary as we might imagine it can be. Maura, I have very vivid past life memories of being burnt at the stake in a public square. The electric blue eyes of the priest accusing me of being a witch, an embodiment of evil and satanic. I still carry a lot of the terror, even around the word witch. Yes. Thank you for sharing that and for bringing that as well, because I know that is the reaction. That word, what weight does it carry? What does it mean for all of you here? We can explore that. Gillian, I'm curious about the topic and want to be empowered. Yes, absolutely. Reading your words, the story you wrote touched me deeply and I cried. Thank you so much. I could feel the panic and fear when facing the judge. Yeah, yeah. And that was where I went. It was that flicker of ancient fear that then turned into a no. Like, no, I am rewriting the story. I am changing the history. I am changing the feelings that are associated with this. Yeah. Thank you for sharing all of that. And that for those of you that are still joining, if you put your name and location in the chat, and also people are sharing what brings you here. Petra, trust your power in you, which connected to the earth and the universe. And now we are allowed to trust our intuition. Yes, finally, without being burned. It absolutely is time. And many of you that replied to my emails were agreeing with that this is time. We can feel safe. And when we step out and share our voice, we inspire that for others too. Gorgeous. Okay. Well, keep your comments and sharings coming in. Oh, here's another one. Past life seems to have seen me valued by fellow villagers for my healing powers and then cast out by the local priest. In a circle of the village folk, the priest accused me of a language I didn't understand, in a language I didn't understand. And one protected supported me as the priest dragged me to the edge of the sea and drowned me. No fire in this experience, but your invitation calls strongly. Yes, wow. How traumatic and how powerful. And even the sharing of this is healing for you, for each one of us, yes. And that is something else. In Edinburgh, there was a pond where Princess Street Gardens now is, where those accused of witchcraft were thrown. Lisa, hi Lisa, from still very hot, I can imagine, Palm Springs in California. What brings me here? The wonderful teachings of Eimear. Thank you so much, Lisa. I'm so happy that you're here. Yeah, so with all of that sharing, let's take a moment to really arrive here. And wherever you are around the world, to feel your roots connected to the ground beneath your feet. And just imagining your roots now unfurling from the soles of your feet and making their way down, as they know that they can do, into the earth. Mother Earth that is always here to support us. And as your roots make their way down into the earth, they can also spread themselves out as well to bring you stability and the utmost support. And you can release whatever has been stirred up with the sharings here, with this topic, with the word witch. You can begin to release through your roots all that is no longer serving you right now. And that can be released through your roots into the earth to be transmuted and changed and absorbed by the great Mother Earth as she knows how. And I am doing the same as I'm talking through this. And you can continue with that releasing throughout this webinar. And at the same time, it's like a two-way cycle. You can draw up the energy that you so need and that is most useful for you right now. Gorgeous, earthy energy. Oh yeah, Gillian, we used to drown them in the Norloch below Edinburgh Castle. Absolutely. And it's so lovely you're bringing this energy here, Gillian, as well. Myself and Gillian used to work together just across the road from Edinburgh Castle. It's really nice. And Barbara, you've been to Edinburgh Castle too. That's gorgeous. So as we gather here in circle and really drop in to our roots and connect, I shall bring to you the Cailleach, the Irish witch medicine. So sit back and relax while I read this poem to you, and it is in the voice of her, the Cailleach. Ready? I am the Cailleach. I am the ancient and mighty Cailleach, creator of the Celtic lands, where I've travelled so far and wide. I am as strong as any warrior. I am fierce as the gale force winds as they blow in from the wild Atlantic oceans. A force to be reckoned with. Rock solid, they say. I am goddess of the winter, shrouding you in brilliant blankets of white snow. My Arctic perspectives will give you chills as you stand frozen to your spot. The story is true, what they speak of me, the apron-clad version. That apron that I wore, I filled with rocks and boulders way back in those ancient times. And in great big leaps and hops between Scotland and Ireland, I scattered these rocks from my apron to form the mountains of Slieve Gullion in Ulster in the north of Ireland, the cairns of Lough Crew in Meath in the Midlands of Ireland, and the Dingle Peninsula in the southwest of Ireland in Kerry. All these rock babies that were birthed from my divine womb as I created the lands that we have to this day. I am the wind that tousles your hair. I am air. I am here today to walk with you into the unknown, into your not yet lived. As we all collectively and individually return to the wholeness that is our sacred sovereign power. Names, names they call me. The old hag, the witch, the crone, the wailing banshee, the bone mother, rattling your bones. And I say I am all of these, and I am so much more. Despite the many distortions of that lore, I am the sacred air that breeds you. I am the land that births you. I speak to you in the hills and the valleys. I taunt you in the mountains and the rocks. I am rooted in the landscape, rememberings of your own becoming. I am you. I am the mother, dear child. I hear your battle cries, your worries and your lies. I am here to lay out the truth. And that truth is a truth that cannot be rebuked, but emerges to this day from the underground caverns and rocks, from the very landscape that is you. They tried to shut me up, silencing me with unfair trial. Oh, the tribulations I've been through. Tied to a wooden pole and burned at the stake, accused of witchcraft. The knowings and the rememberings still very available and visible to this day. We feel the wounds, that's why we're here. The winter winds fanning the flames as the women, men, children, they all watched on. These creatures and humans that are the landscape of my creation, making sure that trauma was embedded for centuries to come and remains in our DNA. And over many lifetimes, I've been betrayed. I've been severed from my soul. But now, the Cailleach, the witch, is rising and returning as we remember her, because I have reawakened and have returned home to my throne upon my old hag's chair, that ancient magical rock that looks out to the hill of Tara and Ishnach in the center of Ireland's magical land. So I call you, dear ones. I call you today to be fierce. I call you today to strip away your lies. I call you today to return to the center of your balanced and aligned power. And I repeat again, witches, rise up and return to your power. Witches, I tell you, now is the hour. Witches, rise up and step back on your throne. Witches, rise up. It's time to come home. Thank you for listening, and thank you to the Cailleach for sharing this. And I love that when I was saying those last pieces on my clock here, it was 15:55, which feels so beautiful and aligned. Thank you. The not knowing is so inviting. Thank you to connect. The strength under my feet and my back is immense. Beautiful, beautiful. Yes, I wrote that, Barbara. I wrote the poem, yes. And what I loved about the poem, and someone else shared this recently in our Sacred Sovereignty program, that a line goes through my mind. And then this line kind of nudges me to sit down and write, and then out emerged this poem, the Cailleach, because at the same time, we were exploring the Cailleach in the direction of the north and the Celtic medicine wheel in our Sacred Sovereignty program journey. And I'll say something about that just now. Beautiful chills, yes. Powerful, absolutely, yeah. And it feels even more powerful for me that it's in her voice, it's her speaking. And as I type, just the words flow. And I will share this afterwards, and you can listen to this recording and also read this, because this is one way of how we can reconnect with our power, by reconnecting with these archetypes, these traits, and this resourceful state as we stand and speak this, which is all part of our truth, and inviting all these aspects back to our wholeness, returning home to who we are. Yes, witches, we must come home to heal. Yeah. And I was speaking to someone just only yesterday who doesn't connect with the word witch, while many of us do, and we're here, others don't. And it's like a stigma attached to this, like a horrible, revolting word. And for me, I feel this sense of fun despite the past and the trauma and horror, that there can be this sense of fun and lightness, and this like kind of wickedness to what we can bring to this word, the sense of power. And Jenny is a longing for years to visit Scotland, to walk and feel the land and feel a deep connection. Absolutely, I know this longing. And there is a mountain in the north of Scotland on the Isle of Skye called a Cailleach, which is her mountain as well, the Cailleach's mountain. Yeah. The same desire from Lisa. Yeah, gorgeous. The poem was mesmerizing. Thank you. So I'll say a bit about the Celtic medicine wheel, because on that note of the longing and desire to return home, there's a TED talk I watched recently from an Irish man whose name has just escaped me. And in it, he shares about the fact that sometimes we have to leave home to return home. And this is very much what my journey has been, in traveling the world, seeing all these places, and then setting down roots in Scotland for the last 20 years. And it's only been really in the last year that full sense of who I am as an Irish, well, witch now, is really coming to the fore. And that desire and longing, especially that we're in lockdown now, coming out of lockdown, that desire to return home and walk the lands is very real for me as well, which is why I return to the Celtic medicine wheel and the Irish myths, the legends and the lore, and with the inspiration to rewrite his story and balance it with her story. And how does she want to be expressed today? So when we talk about the witch, it's also the sister wound, the mother wound, you know, it's everything lumped together, really. It's all of these wounds. When we shine the light on them, sometimes they just disappear. So I find the Celtic medicine wheel in particularly nourishing and powerful, because each of the directions represents the elements, but also a goddess. And at the very center represents our sacred sovereign truth. And if you want to connect more with that, I do have a free meditation that I can share in the link here. That is the meditation to journey around the Celtic medicine wheel. So I can share that here in the chat just now. Some of you will already have seen it, and that will also add you to my mailing list if you're not on it already. And yeah, Paloma, the sister mother wound, indeed. Was just thinking about that right before you said it. Yeah, it's everything, isn't it? Lumped in together. I think I missed another one. There's a rumor that my family is related to Sir Walter Scott. My aunt tried to connect her lineage to his, so it's difficult. Yeah. And what I would say is that it's that feeling, you know, where you share, you want to have this desire to connect to the Scottish and the Celtic lands. That's that knowing inside of you that you are connected, you know, it's there. Petra, I love that. Witch is so much fun, feeling the light and connected, dancing and the feeling to be free. Yeah, deeply connected to that. Yeah, thank you. Love that link. Yeah, that's the link in the chat, and I'll send it out afterwards as well. And it's my new website that I've started building, eimearstassen.com. Simple as that. So where was I? Yes, the Celtic medicine wheel. And the Cailleach represents the north, the northern aspect of the Celtic medicine wheel. The not knowing, the to be lived, as the poem says. And it also represents the battle, as Jane Burns, who offers courses in Celtic shamanism, shares. The battle. So it's the external battle, but it's also the battle within. Where do you feel that inner conflict, that inner friction, that misalignment? Where do you feel out of balance? And that's where, when you journey around the whole Celtic wheel, bringing in the elements, the 4 elements and the goddesses, you can come back to balance. And that is your power. That is our power. And it also represents air, which is the masculine force. The air in our breath, our voice, and what we share, and what we're breathing in from the outside, the air of Mama Earth. Barbara, how do I spell her name? Is that Jane Burns? Celtic shamanism. Oh, the witch, the Cailleach. There she is in the chat, the Cailleach. And I will share all this in written version afterwards. Yeah, the Cailleach means witch in Irish. So she is reawakening because she's always been here in the landscape. So how about then we do a meditation to really deepen what it is you're here for, and also, yeah, why you're here today. And if you wish, you can use a drum track that I share for the ladies on my program. I can share them here with you. There's the YouTube link there. And it's just a shamanic drum beat, and it's better if you just play it on your computer where you are. Or you can meditate in silence, whichever you wish. And just before we go into it, yeah, that's lovely. Gillian has shared for Lisa, who believes they may be related to Sir Walter Scott. Visit Abbotsford House in the Scottish borders. Gorgeous. So next time whenever you can make it to Scotland again, Lisa. Scott was a keen collector of all things historical, and there may be some records there. Also, some of his ancestors took the last name of Hope Scott. Gorgeous. Thanks so much for sharing that, Gillian. That's really helpful. What's the name of the house? Abbotsford House. Is that what you mean, Jenny? I can share the chat with you afterwards as well. But TSFOR. Oh, there, Gillian's shared it. Oh, okay, because you need to share it with all panelists and attendees, Gillian, for everyone to see it. There, I've just done it. So let's go into our meditation. And my daughter's just modeling her new skirt outside the glass door there, trying to distract me. Okay, shall we meditate together? We have 27 people here, which I love, that number, adding up to 9. 27 is the number of our house here where I live. Everything feels so symbolic. So enter full screen so I can share. So you can start your drumming track, and I'm also going to share this just gorgeous painting which I have permission to use from Margaret McKenna, who has a gorgeous site called celticmyths.ie. And this is an original painting from her, but she also sells cards and posters and delivers around the world. And I'm not on commission or anything. I just love to spread beauty in all its form. And the eye with the swirl, it represents the Cailleach's home in Lough Crew in Meath, which is in the centre of Ireland. So you can gaze into her eye if you so wish and be mesmerized even more. Or where you are, you can sit or lie or walk, whatever is most useful for you. And notice where your body is in contact with your chair, the floor, the ground beneath you. And we're going to go on a short journey now, probably in the next 10 minutes or so, to meet with the Cailleach and see what she has to share in her full, whole witchy form. So you can close your eyes or gaze at the image and reconnect if you need to with your roots that we unfurled earlier on. These roots that are always here for you to connect with. And just let them go down a bit deeper, finding their way down to the core of Mama Earth. And they can give a little hug, wrap themselves around the core and give a little hug or a great big hug to her, the earth, at the very center. And continuing to release what needs to be released, whatever's been stirred up for you, and drawing up that energy again. And just imagine yourself in the woods, in the clearing of the woods, or in a beautiful place outside in nature. So wherever you are drawn to, there's no right or wrong with these meditations or journeys. And wherever you find yourself, the clearing of the woods in a place in nature, just imagine that a circular spaciousness appears before you. And this represents the medicine wheel, the Celtic medicine wheel in this instance. And we're going to start in the south, where you are right now. And imagine that you're barefoot in this place to really connect with the earth, be fully grounded. And just notice the grass beneath you, this beautiful meadow grass that's like fairy fingers tickling your feet and your ankles. The dewdrops and the recent rainfall is still fresh in this grass and cools your feet. And you feel that gorgeous cooling energy flowing up inside of you and overflowing outside of you as well. And as the clearing opens up in front of you, you can invite a guide, if you so wish, to journey with you. And that may be a person, an ancestor, a well ancestor that's here to guide you. Or it can be an elemental being, animal. Whatever comes to you is right for you. Or often for me, it's like a whole Cailleach load of people that want to join the party of the journey. So who's ever with you just now, invite them in. And you begin to notice this path unfolding in front of you, and you can walk from the south towards the center of the Celtic medicine wheel. And at this center, this is the place of sacred sovereignty, connected to goddess Éireann, which is the ancient Irish name for Ireland. At the center point, this is where you have the choice in which way to go. And for today, we're going to choose to head north and into the unknown, the battle. And before we do that, we're going to call on the Cailleach to guide us, along with everyone else that is with us just now on this journey, and each other that's here, live or in the recording. So remembering to stay connected to your roots throughout this journey, begin to step forth as the path unfolds in a northerly direction for you. And just notice what this path consists of. Maybe it continues to be the grass, or maybe it's the forest piney floor, or sand, pebbles. Just notice the sensations of this path below your feet. And continue to step forth in the northerly direction. And you see up ahead a figure. And this figure comes closer. And it is the figure of the Cailleach. And just notice how she appears to you in her whole, witchy, wild, wonderful, gentle, fierce form. Maybe you see her visually. Maybe you hear her. Maybe you feel her or smell her or can taste her. So whatever is your sensory preference, just let herself be known to you. And she stands before you now, and you make contact, eye contact, energetic contact. And you whisper to her whatever it is you wish to share or unload or impart to her. What is it that you want to share with the Cailleach just now? What brought you here as we're healing the witch wound? What wounds or misalignments or inner battles want to be expressed and shared with her ancient goddess, the crone, the great grandmother, through all the times? Whisper, sing it, dance it, scream it, draw it, whatever way you want to express your innermost secrets, these wounds, because she will take them, the Cailleach, your precious wounds, in order to help you heal. And remembering to stay connected to your roots. Just notice, what is it that's flowing through you just now as you share with the Cailleach? What is it that you are noticing just now? Remembering to allow everything to make itself known to you and to flow just as you are. Everything is welcome. Open the door just a little bit more to allow this to be released. And while we're here, this is your moment to speak with the Cailleach and to ask her what she wishes to share with you as you are stepping out into your unknown, into your not yet lived, as you heal the witch wounds and return to your sacred sovereign power, all of you remembering who you are. What is it that the Cailleach wishes to share with you now? Take a moment just now to listen without forcing anything, just an allowing, a surrendering, and opening up to the possibility. What is it that you feel that she shares with you? What is it that you see? Just notice it now. And as you are guided further into this northerly point on the Celtic medicine wheel, the Cailleach reaches out her hand to you, and hand in hand, she guides you to step up onto her ancient throne. This gorgeous megalithic rock with its spirals and ancient artwork that has been carved out especially for you. Allow her now to guide you back to your throne, to your rightful place, in rebalancing her story to balance his story. Just sit there for a moment, or maybe you want to stand and cheer and shout and call all your witchy friends to this place. The Cailleach has spoken and guided you. So just take a moment longer here, savoring all of this and noticing how you are in all of this. Is there anything else that wants to be released? Anything else that's feeling misaligned, that's no longer serving you? Just open up to releasing that now. And draw up this gorgeous rock energy. This ancient form that tells the story of the times. This ancient form that urges us to rewrite the story, write new stories, it says. It's time. It's time to reinvent ourselves as witches, in how we identify ourselves, as humans, all genders, and how we connect to our sacred sovereign power. Because it's time to share our gifts with the world. It's time to take that next step. And it is safe to do so now when we are guided by the Cailleach, by our ancestors and guides. And in this circle today, it is safe to do so. And now we're going to step down from the throne with the help of the Cailleach. And you can begin to make your way back to the center of the Celtic medicine wheel. And you can make your way back towards the southerly point, saying goodbye to the Cailleach. Maybe you want to give each other a hug, and you can always return to her and her throne, now your throne, at any time. And you return back to your starting point in the south of the Celtic medicine wheel, your earthy roots. And your guides that have been with you, you can say goodbye to them. Again, they're always there for you to call in at any time. And we'll take one final deep breath in and out. And when you're ready, you can begin to bring attention to your fingers, your toes, and to the here and now of where we are. And every you reiterate that, you can go there at any time again for more wisdom, more releasing, and more stepping further into your unknown and that northerly direction. So if you want to stretch out, you can do so, release if anything was stirred up for you, and welcome back to here. And take time to write out, if anything emerged, any symbols or images, words, sounds, whatever emerged for you, take time to note that down. Because it can be like the dream world, journeying and meditating like this. So note it while it's fresh for you, taking all the time you need for this. And yeah, if anyone wishes to share, you can feel free to do so, and you can do that to all panelists and attendees so everyone can see. But of course, there's no requirement to do that. And yeah, while you are becoming more present, I will share how you can go deeper with me on this journey to heal the witch wound and to fully commit to reclaiming your sovereignty and stepping back to your wholeness fully, wholeheartedly, to all of who you are, to share yourself with the world in your unique way. And this is healing the witch wound, reclaiming your sacred sovereign power to wholeness, and an invitation to work with me one-to-one, where you can commit to the deep transformation that is this way of coaching, a soul-based coaching way. It's an embodied kind of coaching where you heal from the inside out anything that wants to be healed in your subconscious, in your somatic memory, in such a beautiful, gentle, powerful, and embodied way. As we work with the metaphors that are uniquely expressed through you, and change magically happens easily in your everyday life. So I'm inviting you to a discovery call with me. And on that 30-minute discovery call, it helps you to get full clarity on where you want to focus your healing, to be fully in your power. Because whatever aspect you focus on, that will ripple out to the rest of your life and your work. So this is your commitment to change, to work with me. And to be infused with my Irish witchiness and the magic of the Celtic medicine wheel. And you also receive access to the Sacred Sovereign Truth program. So I'll share what some people have to say of working with me. Recent client sharing how working with me opened up the world and opened up the buried depth of her own wisdom that was and has changed the course of her life. Eimear is a master. Thank you. Asking the right questions, leaving each session with an anchor that she is now embodied and continues to bring her back to her inner knowing again and again. I feel more free and alive in my life now. This is sacred and deeply healing work. Yes, it is. And you can get a flavor of that in the free discovery call. And from my program, I've had so many insights into myself through the elemental workings with the goddesses. Super grateful for you, Eimear. Thank you. The class, the journey. Course is profound, and the journey continues to unfold for me as I integrate it into my work and life. So that is what some people have to say, and what I would say is that this is something you can experience for yourself. So how you can do that is I will share the link to my calendar so you can arrange this free call. You can have some special one-to-one time with me. I'll share the link to my calendar in here that you can schedule that over the next few weeks, whenever suits. And if there isn't a time or date, because yeah, I've tried to cater for all time zones, just send me an email to the email address for this webinar, eimear@stassen.co.uk. So schedule that discovery call in, my gift to you. And we are just over the hour here. So I will read what some of you have shared. Oh, Paloma, gorgeous. I got the message from her. You are Mother Earth. Beautiful. Yes. And Lisa, you've shared the Cailleach is my wonderful grandmother in spirit. I heard in my soul her calling me her daughter. That is so beautiful. Yes, she is one powerful lady, as are you and you all. Barbara, thank you so much for the wisdom and deep journey and for the beautiful container you have held for us today with gratitude and love. Thank you so much. And Fred led to the stone of the Cailleach. Oh, led to the stone. Oh, my screen has gone there. Of the Cailleach, who did a double string figure of 2 diamonds merging into the Mobius strip, have I pronounced that right, and empowered to bring forth my string game curriculum and teaching. How gorgeous. So beautiful. Thank you, Eimear. Most relaxing and enjoyable session. Thank you, Gillian. I got the message to trust yourself. You are a healer and you are loved. Yes, that is so true, Barbara. And Petra, my rock throne had a cross, the meaning surrender. That is so beautiful. Oh, Anne from Ireland. Hello. I dropped off and was standing in the stone circle here. Oh, gorgeous. I know you have a stone circle outside your house. Is that where you mean? Dropped off, was standing in the stone circle here, connecting with Loch Crew, her home, holding you all for the return of full dignity, sovereignty, and her wisdom. Thank you so much, Anne, for doing that for all of us and what we do for one, as Lindsay Perra of the Mystic Society says, we do for the all. Petra, powerful in my heart and my hands. Gorgeous. Jenny, the Cailleach told me it's time to rise up, to feel the web of connection that is where power and protection lies. You are not alone. So beautiful. Yes, you are not alone. Thank you, Jenny. Yes, and it is tied in deeply. Yeah, gorgeous. So powerful. Thank you, everyone, for sharing. And I'm conscious we've gone over the hour, but really, these are the times we are in. Maura, I think that's Maura, is it? Deep gratitude, Eimear. What a powerful experience to the journey into terror, knowing you are safely held in the group. This was a very powerful way to address healing. The Cailleach welcomed me home and placed me on the throne. That is so beautiful. And I love that you share that, because yes, these ancient feelings are very real. And when we travel like this together or with a guide. It just isn't scary anymore. When we focus on what we want more of, these other parts just naturally can be released. Yeah, it's a very powerful way of healing. Fred, many thanks and blessings. Loved the drumming background. Yeah, I like the drumming background as well. That's really nice. Gorgeous. Well, you can stay on, and if anyone has questions or queries, you can ask them just now. And otherwise, do schedule the free discovery call. I would love to help you all get clarity on what you want when we're healing the witch wound, and knowing that you're doing this for yourself. You're also doing this for past generations, the present and future generations. This is the joy of this work and the healing that we do. So please schedule the call. Let's talk one-to-one, get clarity, and see where it goes from there. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Shamanic Life. Thank you, Anne. Thank you, Maura. Thank you, Maria. Loved it. Deep gratitude. Fred, is there a way to join any of your sessions on the wheel journey, even though it's so far underway? Yeah, let's talk about that, Fred. You can do. We're heading into week 5 of the journey. I do plan to do another one, but can you send me an email and let's see what we can do? Yeah, because I have other ideas of just making it available at the end, you know, the meditations and stories, keeping the confidentiality of what the group has shared during these, but just sharing some of it to make it available. So yeah, send me an email and let's talk. Thank you for the encouraging energy. I will schedule a one-to-one. Yes, I just want to talk to people. Barbara, thanks for your question. The one-to-one discovery call is for one-on-one coaching. And you also get access to, where you take coaching from me, you get access to the Celtic Medicine Wheel program, which is the meditations and learnings about the Irish goddesses. But also what I was sharing was that I plan to offer another program in the future, but I haven't clarified or decided when yet. So sorry if I'm confusing things. Feels like there's a desire for just to start another program. So let me walk with that. Maybe I need to go speak to the Cailleach about that one. So have I read everyone's messages? Thank you again, Eimear. You're a treasure for bringing the Cailleach back into my awareness. Oh, hi, Panya. I didn't say hi to you yet. Hello. It's the path I need to go on. Yeah, yeah. And I know what many have shared is that it's really not as scary as we think. It can be fully supported and healing. So thank you for sharing that. And Barbara, thank you as well. I hope I made myself clear. Okay, so, and I love that. Forgive the sisters who denounced you. Yeah, yeah, it's all part of the wound, isn't it? Yeah, and we can forgive. Thank you for bringing that here. Forgiveness is so healing. Suzanne, thank you so much, and all. Heather, it was amazing. Witchy, roomy. Yeah, part of me can't believe I'm sharing this webinar on healing a witch wound, you know. Heather and myself were roommates on a retreat a couple of months ago, so this is what happens. Oh, Regina, hi. Thank you so much. Did I say hi to you already? Lisa, a question. Is it true that the Cailleach and Bridget are sisters? I do not think that is true. I know there are stories of how they can be connected. And I think, well, I know Bridget, it's been said that she is a representation, like an amalgam of many of the ancient mythical goddesses. So they have very similar traits. Bridget, of course, as you know, is more associated with the fire, but she is the triple goddess. And she had two other sisters called Bridget and Bridget, which I think is really funny. They were short on names back then, obviously. So they could be, but not that I know of. I guess they were all in the same sisterhood. Love your question. Okay, well, if there's no other questions, I will bid you all goodbye. Thank you for being here and staying here throughout this webinar. I will send out the replay so you can redo this at any time. Do schedule your one-to-one discovery call with me. I'd love to talk and see you on screen and help you get clarity on how you can heal your witch wound and return to your sovereign power. So yes, namaste to everyone and see you all again soon.